it's absolute horseshit to give a platform to people who have no idea what they're talking about as far as my mental state and, my focus, my work habits. People that have not been around me, they're not in my life. I don't have communication with them, or not in the locker room. I mean, that's just it's chicken. It's so ridiculous that people get a platform to do this, and it's the same type of people. On the flip side of that, I think in this day and age of media, the things that get the most, it's all about clicks, right, and hits and views, and 1 second counts as a view. So the actually opinions that are garnering the most attention are the most outlandish. So it's not even overreaction Monday or Tuesday anymore. It's overreaction every time a microphone's in your face, every time you have a single shot in the camera and you get to talk to camera, every time you're on a panel. It's who can say the most outlandish things, because that's going to give you the most hits. That's the media we live in. That's fine. But at the same time, I still have this show. I have my weekly stuff. I mean, most people, don't use their platform to defend themselves. I don't think I need to defend myself from people who aren't worth spending time on.
So why are you doing it? Why do you do it? I don't get it. And let me just say this. I mentioned this morning. No, Myles,
here
please,
we go.
Just give me a little leeway here. One of the great quarterbacks of all time doesn't know jack diddly, S-H-I-T, pardon me, about how media works. Does not understand it. 1 second doesn't count as a view. And you're not going to build a platform that lasts if you're just pandering to morons who are going to flock to clickbait. Because people who get it are going to see what it is, and they're not going to go to it. They're looking for things they can trust. They're looking for things they can believe in. If you are in the business of the outlandish hot take, you're going to get maybe a short-term boost, but people who have a brain, or even part of a brain, are going to know they're being grifted, and they're going to go somewhere else. So don't pretend, Aaron, that you understand how our business works. I don't pretend to understand how your business works. Don't pretend to understand how mine works. Here he is from today. Myles, I'll let you say something before we hear you.
I mean, listen, I mean, I think
the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. This rarely happens, so wow. No, but I think that what he's saying. I know. I'm joking. I'm joking. Ha ha ha.
I'll take your platform away.
Don't. You could actually. So you keep inviting me back on the show. No, I feel like what Rodgers is trying to say is different than like what he actually said. I mean, I understand what he's saying. What.
Oh, don't speculate on what he's really saying. Oh, God, don't speculate. Go ahead.
I know.
Speculate.
I don't like saying, I don't think you do either, just like saying the outlandish stuff, right? Because like you said, it's not necessarily going to be something that's long lasting. And I think that, this is a platform that we have here that has been long lasting, right? And it's very cool, at least from my standpoint, that I get to come on here and share my opinions about football. And I don't feel like I'm giving too many hot takes. I feel like I watch the stuff, I listen to the stuff, I read the stuff, and then that's how we formulate our opinions and then tell people what actually is going on in the NFL. So there are certainly people, I think, from Rodgers' standpoint where he's viewing it and saying like, well, they don't really know what they're talking about, and I don't like that. And from his perspective, I can see what he means, but I also don't think that, like you were saying, the people who the reporters, the commentators that people actually trust aren't really trafficking in the stuff that he's kind of talking about, if that makes any sense.
And it does. And I like this back and forth because my concern isn't that he's upset with the people who are deliberately coming up with hot takes, who don't believe what they're saying. They just believe that if they say it, it's going to go viral. It's going to resonate. It's going to get clicks. It's going to get views with 1 second, which does not, trust me, count as a view. We authentically believe what we say. We genuinely believe what we say. One of the reasons why this job is easy for me is I don't have to keep all my lies straight. I believe what I believe. Now, my beliefs may change, and if they do, I'll admit it. But it's not like I take one side of an argument today because it'll be great if you and I are arguing, and it'll be great if we go back and forth and you call me dumb and I call you stupid and maybe we go viral, and then Sims and I are doing it tomorrow morning and he's taking the side I'm taking tonight, so I'll take the other side so we can get into an argument. No, that's all crap. My point is that Aaron Rodgers, I think, would put everyone in that bucket simply based on one factor. Are you being critical of me? And anyone who's being critical of me is a hot take artist. Anyone who's being critical of me is looking for a quick, outlandish thing. They're not right. They can't be right. They can't have honest beliefs. They can't be smart and logical and reasoned. If they are criticizing me, they necessarily are hot take artists who should be ignored. That's my concern with this backward-ass logic of his, because he's trying to say, as to anyone who would dare criticize him, you are not worth spending time on. You shouldn't have a platform. You are a hot take artist. And when he does that, frankly, and hey, we got 35 minutes of the show in. If half the audience goes and does something else, I'm fine with it. He acts like Donald Trump when he behaves that way.
Didn't expect that one.
Well, it's the truth.
You're just going to stop talking? You're going to let
I'll
me
just
talk?
I'll throw the baton to you. Hot potato and Myles. Donald Trump, go. Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers. Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers. Take some time to collect your thoughts. Come up with a really good hot take that you can use on the other side. Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers.
Look, I do want to maybe rephrase or refocus what I said. I strongly believe in everybody's ability to have an opinion, and I respect the fact that they have an opinion and should have an opinion. My issue is a platform given to individuals who only desire to say inflammatory things that are not based in fact, right? So personally, I think I would be a little sensitive to people questioning my commitment to this team. Said it from the start. If I wasn't 100% committed to the squad and my team, then I wouldn't have come back. Now, maybe people thought that was, some sort of cliche line or obligatory statement, but it was the truth. But to use statements like that or things I did in the off season or my own mental status that I actually explained many times in this room or in this forum as the basis for statements around me not caring or not being invested with my team is not rooted in fact. It's not correct. And I do enjoy the opportunity to correct misinformation like that.
See, Myles, the problem here is it's not like someone is passing along an incorrect fact about Aaron Rodgers. These are opinions that people are developing based upon the circumstantial evidence. Because let's face it, Aaron Rodgers is never going to stand there and say, you know what, deep down, I'm not really sure that I should have come back. Deep down, it's no better for me now than it was back in May when I wanted out. It really isn't. I rolled the dice and they came up snake eyes, and I wish I hadn't come back. And boy, I'm going to try my best to hold it together week after week, but it may show at some point. I mean, he's not going to admit that. So you have people, respected people, Bill Cowher with his gold jacket saying, based upon what he sees, what he knows, what he's experienced, his opinion is it looked like Aaron Rodgers didn't care. That's his opinion. And if the facts are different, that's fine, but it's not like he's making up false facts. He's reaching an opinion based on circumstantial evidence that Aaron Rodgers may disagree with. But to me, that is far different than, for example, reporting that Aaron Rodgers punched Brian Gutekunst in the stomach. That's a false fact. If someone says that and it didn't happen, that is a clear, bright line untruth. But to say, you know what, I look at Aaron Rodgers and I think he doesn't really care anymore, that's really not a false fact. That's an opinion that may not be an accurate opinion. Aaron Rodgers may disagree with it, but that's an opinion that Bill Cowher or anyone else, based upon what they see and what they believe, are allowed to reach because the facts reasonably support someone coming to that conclusion, even if it's an incorrect conclusion.
Sure, but I think, and I'm going to defend Aaron Rodgers here, because I think that if someone were to say that about me, right, and question my commitment to my job, then I would be really, really mad about it. And so I think that it's understandable from my standpoint when he starts saying, don't come out here and question my commitment when you don't talk to me. You haven't talked to me. You haven't asked me about X, Y, and Z. You are just saying this, and you have a platform to say it. And now maybe people are going to think it's true, even though you haven't talked to me or people that I know. You haven't been around me in order to reach that conclusion. I think that, people questioning work ethic or effort, right? Those are the things that can sometimes really trigger people, because you don't want somebody to say you're not really working hard when in reality, you actually are working very hard. So I understand from his standpoint when he says, don't question my commitment to the team when you don't really know what it is that you're talking about, even if you're looking at it and you can say, by his demeanor or whatnot, I understand from his standpoint what he's saying, right? Don't question me like that when you don't know, because you're not actually here.
I agree with you, but this isn't just a situation of Aaron Rodgers disagreeing with the opinion. This is Aaron Rodgers thinking the opinion is being fashioned for the sole purpose of creating hot takes and clicks, and that it's just completely false and it's not rooted in any reasonable assessment of the facts, and you shouldn't have a platform. How dare you?
Right.
How dare you come to a conclusion? You know what they say when you're trying to understand whether or not there's enough evidence to take a case to a jury, and there's always an effort by the defendant in a civil case. If
Guys,
there's enough evidence,
that Mike used to be a lawyer.
I didn't say it, but you know what?
Let
me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I didn't say at that time because I knew, smartass, that you would say that. So don't call me out unless I do it. My point is, the standard is there enough evidence on which reasonable minds may differ? And I think when it comes to the opinions and it wasn't just one or two people, it was a bunch of people. Reasonable minds may differ on whether or not the conclusion is justified that Aaron Rodgers' commitment isn't where it needs to be. The idea that anyone who says that he doesn't have the commitment he should have is a hot take artist who shouldn't have a platform, that's a little extreme to me. That's my point.
Yes, yeah. I think when it goes to that point where you're saying you shouldn't have a platform, then that's different than just being like, hey, I'm refuting this criticism because this is who I am and I'm here and I'm giving my all for this. And the opinion that somebody would say, you don't seem committed, that bothers me. I think you're right. It's two sort of different things, right? One is I'm refuting the direct opinion, and the other is I'm saying that you shouldn't even be able to say that opinion. I do think it is two different things.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.